Hi, my name is Max, or Matcha, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the perfect cup of matcha at home every single time. So we need to start with the basics. So you need to make sure that the matcha that you're actually consuming is fresh. You don't have a fresh matcha, it tends to get very clumpy unless you use a sifter. And if you have to use a sifter, it probably means it's not that fresh. So let me show you. This is the color of a oxidized matcha that isn't very green. You can tell that it's not fresh. Let me show you what Nekohama looks like. It's a completely different shade of green. You can see that it's bright, and that's because this was ground about 3.5 weeks ago into powder. So let's just put those two right there side by side so you can see. What the difference between the two of these means is that one was ground recently, stored in a freezer, and the other one hasn't been stored in a freezer. It was recently sent here, but you can tell that it's just starting to oxidize. So I'm gonna quickly show you what it's like to make matcha when it's not fresh. And just so that everything is the same, we're gonna measure the same amount of water. I'm gonna start whisking back and forth. You wanna make sure you go in a zigzag motion. And you can already see here a lot of clumpiness, so you can kind of see all the little clumps. And also, that smells so good. So let's see what happens when we strain the matcha that we just made. But you can see there's clumps all inside here. And that's because the matcha is not very fresh and it's gonna be tough to drink this one. There's a fresh bag of Nekohama here. And you can tell how green it is just from the second that it enters into the bowl. And now we need to measure the same exact amount of water before. So what you wanna do is you wanna make sure you start going back and forth, going like a zigzag motion. And you wanna make sure that you always whisk into the edges and the corners, because as you can see here, it will completely get rid of any of the clumpiness that you have inside your matcha. Oh my gosh. So you can see in the bowl, there's absolutely no particles of matcha. And here, look here, there's absolutely no clumps. If you're getting a lot of clumps in your bowl, it might be time for you to start thinking about a different matcha. Now let's do a quick little taste test. Whoa! And then Nekohama. There's a night and day difference between the two qualities of product and also what you end up experiencing. I'm gonna show you a few tricks using a lower quality matcha that will help make sure that every single time you drink matcha, there's no clumps and it's as smooth as possible. Matcha. Okay, so you're gonna put around 2 grams into your bowl. This is the key difference in this method, especially when you're using a lower grade of matcha. You want to put in less water, so almost like a splash of water so that you can make almost a creamy paste. Let me show you. Boom. What you're going to start doing is you're going to start whisking this, and you're going to start to see that there's lots and lots of little clumps. But because there's only a little bit of water, there's not a lot of places for the matcha to move, so all of a sudden it breaks down. So a matcha that would be extremely clumpy is now actually going to be really frothy. Then you're going to add the rest of your water. So by the time you add the rest of your water, it's already been turned into a paste, and then you can just whisk it really quickly together. Sifter test. So far, so good. Which made it almost like a concentrate of matcha, which pretty much was easily able to blend into the matcha. So by just adding one small, simple step, you're able to create a much cleaner and less gritty and less clumpy matcha. And if you really enjoyed this video, make sure to leave us a comment, like and subscribe, share this with your friends, and we'll see you on the Matcha channel next week.